So one thing that I'd like to see is
Sure.
is basically keeping the loft on the putter very consistent, making sure that it doesn't change, meaning that when your putter strikes the ball, making sure that it's not either open or closed. Hopefully every time it hits it at the same spot.
Gotcha.
And where you put the ball in your stance has a lot to do with that. We talked about that shoulder down to the club head, right? Hit one that's just a touch farther forward, good, or you can move that ball just a touch farther back. Good. We talk about your hands, they should pretty much sit or settle just inside your left knee.
Gotcha, okay.
That's a pretty good spot. And if you take it back and just hold it there, good. So notice even in that you have a little bit of wrist movement, right? Yeah, so start over one more time. And take it back more with your shoulders and less with your hands. Everything should move together. There you go. Good.
Better?
Yeah. Remember that club head, you want it to come just a touch higher, have it come straight back. Don't let it get sucked inside. Good. There you go. I want you to hit one more and really try to limit the amount of wrist that you have on the backswing, right? Feel like the shoulders, the hands, and the club head all move, so the relationship between the three stays the same. So ball position's a touch farther forward than what you're used to. The swing's a little bit slower, and I want you to think of keeping your weight a little bit more centered. Sometimes you transition it back and then you have to time it coming forward.
Gotcha, okay.
Feel like it stays centered longer. Now that you know that you can hit it solid, you're not going to catch it thin or rock it over the green, you can add a little club head speed. Remember, you're following your foot line. That club doesn't need to go too far outside. Watch the ball position, make sure it's not too far back. Good. Go for it. There it is. So one more thing I want to talk about at setup is how much forward shaft lean you have. And we talked about chipping, you want a pretty good amount of forward shaft lean, right? When you hit those pitch shots, that shaft is getting more vertical, right? It's not gonna have as much shaft lean. Bunker shots are gonna be the same way. So set up one more time and feel like that shaft is actually vertical, straight up and down. And it's not so much vertical up and down this way, but forward shaft or vertical this way.
Like this?
There you go, good. Beautiful. Yeah, and remember, opening your stance is not necessarily just taking your feet and pulling the foot back. It's actually rotating your whole body, your feet, your hips, your torso, everything.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I have a tendency that when you say open, I just go like this.
Just be careful here, right? Your feet come back and take a look at where you're aimed. If this is your target line,
too open.
That's pretty extreme.
Yeah, I agree.
When you're that extreme, what you're doing is you're artificially increasing how steep it's coming in.
Gotcha, okay.
Once you get that, there you go.
Back in there?
Yep.
Just like that.
Good. So as you take that club back, perfect. As long as it's straight down the line, that would be fine. As your hands get away from you, that's tendency is to be your flaw, right? As you waggle the club, that's kind of how it works anyway.
Inside.
Yeah, inside, so I'd like to see it start to work back. It might, to you, feel a little bit on the outside, which is fine. It allows it to go up, come underneath. So now let's talk about a cut. For you, if you want to hit a cut, how do you do it?
So probably same thing, a little less, hands forward. Probably gonna have to take it from, go straight forward, come on the outside a little bit, leave it open.
Yeah, leave the club face open just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
You could even come maybe just a touch across the body, but basically you're holding off the finish a little bit, right? So sometimes your flaw starts to kick that way. I'd like to see your hands sit just a touch farther forward.
Okay.
I'd also like to see your ball position move slightly forward. Good. The thing we want to avoid is this shaft getting too far forward, right? If it's vertical, that's fine. If it's leaning back, that's fine. We just want to make sure that if it's leaning back because the ball is scooting forward, right? Instead of your hands, so. Play that just a touch more off your toe, off your left toe. There you go. Good. Everything moves together. Hands, club, shoulders, all in one piece. Bring it back just where the club's parallel to the ground. Perfect. So that would be good, right? Hopefully at this point, this right arm is relaxed, it's not too tense. Good. As this gets more tense or it bends, right? It moves in this way, the club starts to go that way, your hands go that way. That would be bad, right? We want it to come back. So come back real slow till it's parallel. Perfect. Should sit somewhere in there. For you, if it's even out here, that's fine, right? your air as it gets sucked too far inside. Remember, the more that your hands get back, the more tension. There you go. So watch your shoulders as the ball gets forward. That right shoulder needs to stay nice and square. Good. For you, you need a little more space. You feel a little close to it?
Oh.
There you go. Good. Let it fly. Even from this side, you're a little bit over the top of it. So if your ball is here, you have a tendency to get your eye line just over the top. Feel like you scoot back just a little bit. Feel actually shallow as your putter. Should be consistent like that. There you go. I'd still like to see you tee the ball just a little bit higher.
Okay.
And make sure you catch it on the upswing.
Okay.
You have that tendency to just still be descending just a touch.